In the spring of 2008, Bill Gates led a parade of high-tech executives to Capitol Hill, asking lawmakers to provide visas for foreign high-tech professionals to fill in critical jobs. I live in this country for almost 20 years. Of course I support immigration, but I can't understand why the US, with 300 million population and the best universities in the world, have to import specialists. It's like Russia or Saudi Arabia would import oil. By the way, the stories with the oil and skilled workers have something in common. George Bush wants to increase the oil production by drilling in Alaska. Bill Gates wants to bring more professionals, but both are really solving today's problems. Tomorrow we will need more oil and more skilled workers. We started to change our attitude toward the oil. Car makers are working on more efficient cars, less people buy SUV and trucks, and more people use public transportation or walk. Some policemen are turning to bikes. And what about high-tech professionals? We have to improve our own educational system. Everyone is talking about failing education. All 2008 presidential candidates are talking about pouring more money into educational system, but so far nothing has changed. Have a look at the latest report released by the Institute of Educational Science in December 2007. 57 countries participated in this study. The results show that the US students scored lower than their peers in 35 other countries. Our educational system is failing our students. They just don't want to study math and science. Americans make only 50% of all students enrolled into engineering colleges. After graduation, foreign students go back to their blooming economies. As a result, we need to get more professionals from other countries. I saw essays written by 5th graders and posted on a wall. It was about what they want to do when they grow up and who is their idol. Only one boy, originally from India, wrote that he wanted to be a Nobel Prize winner and work for NASA, and one girl wanted to be a doctor. All others wanted to be sports stars like Tiger Woods or movie stars. In a library of the same school, I looked up the shelf on biographies. I found 12 volumes on world great scientists, poorly printed, and 23 volumes on great American athletes, perfectly printed. What do you expect from our students? Too often in our popular culture, math and science are dismissed as too hard or too boring. In turn, the young people who do express interest in those subjects are in many schools ridiculed by their peers. Stereotypes persist in portraying scientists as unfashionable or socially backward. Math is not sexy. How can it compete with Xboxes and MTV? The new generation has grown up with American Idol, Dances with the Stars, and other popular shows. The entertainment industry has no problem with the workforce. Their self-promotion works. But who knows American Nobel Prize winners? They just briefly mention their names on public radio. The US, which used to be a country of Thomas Edison, is famous now for the McDonald's and Madonna's. I came from another country and from a different culture. In my school, every student dreamed to become a scientist or engineer. More than 70% of my class went to technical colleges. Best scientists were awarded a Golden Star. I can't recall any movie or sports star who had this award. Nobel Prize winners were national heroes. Every student knew their names. They were everywhere, on the news, in the newspapers, and on TV. He was my hero. If the US will not try to change some values and ideas, we will be left behind. Do you think our Asian or European neighbors will stand around waiting for us to catch up? Our nation was built on being innovative and leading the way in science and technology, so we have to work hard to stay on this path. Dear Representative Holt, As a former college professor and a distinguished physicist, you know the difference a good education can make in our lives. You are working hard to strengthen education in the US, and you have already won several significant victories. Now it's a time to address the importance of diminishing the impact the popular culture has on the brain of our young people. We can start the same way we have done with the oil, through public awareness. This is a serious social issue, and the federal government has to show a real leadership and a clear vision. I offer my recommendations. We have to make the teacher profession the noblest profession in America. Recommend making it a national holiday like Mother's Day with federal recognition of the best teachers and extended broadcast on all major TV and radio stations. That will change a perception of the teacher profession and lead to a wider desire of talented young people to go into teaching. Recommend to get funding from both federal government and businesses to make good movies that promote science and technology and work of scientists. Get star directors like Spielberg involved in the projects. Get on board such mega celebrities like Oprah Winfrey to promote and slowly change young people's perception about math and science. Introduce legislation about substantially increased tax on earnings of top TV, digital games companies, and Hollywood executives for creating violent shows, games, and movies. They make big money on this stuff and send their children to the best private school and universities. Meanwhile, our children are trapped and affected by their pop production. On the other hand, stimulate initiatives for creating educational programs. Recommend widely celebrate American Nobel Prize winners and Hall of Fame inductees, broadcast programs on TV, write in newspapers and on the web, have school assemblies dedicated to them and their work. Recommend every year to honor nationally Westinghouse Project and Intel Science Talent Search winners. Have school assemblies in all middle and high schools. Make their names known to every student in US. Dear Representative Holt, American people of all ages count on your help. Thank you.